Hello everyone and welcome to TechA. Today we're diving into something that could fundamentally change how AI agents work together, Google's A2A protocol. We're going to break down the problem it's trying to solve, how it actually works, and why it's such a big deal. So here's the game plan.
Okay, so to really get why A2A is so important, we have to start with the problem. You can think of the current AI world as a modern-day Tower of Babel. We have all these amazing, super specialized AI agents, but there's one big issue. They're all speaking different languages.
I mean, think about it. We have AIs that are wizards at writing code, others that can digest a 100-page report in seconds, and some that just keep your calendar organized. They're fantastic at their one job, but they're all stuck in their own little digital bubbles. Each one has its own unique API, its own set of rules for talking to the outside world, which means they can't just, chat with each other.
And this leads to what Google perfectly calls the multi-agent hairball. It's this messy, tangled nightmare of custom code. Every single time a developer wants two agents to team up, they have to build a fragile one-off bridge just to translate between them. It's a huge waste of time, it breaks all the time, and frankly, it puts the brakes on innovation.
So how do we untangle this hairball, right? How do we get these brilliant but isolated agents to actually work together like a real team? Well, that is exactly where the agent-to-agent protocol, or A2A, steps in.
Probably the easiest way to think about A2A is as a universal translator for AI. It's an open standard, and that part's really important, that sets up a common language, a shared set of rules. This means any agent, it doesn't matter if it's from Google, a tiny startup, or an open source project, can find, understand, and team up with any other agent that also speaks A2A.
And A2A is built on a few really solid goals. It's not just about sending messages. Interoperability is all about breaking down those walls we talked about. Collaboration is what lets them delegate and tackle big problems together. Discovery is the magic that lets them find each other in the first place. And it's designed to be flexible, for everything from a quick question to a month-long project. Oh, and critically, enterprise-grade security is baked right in from the very start.
Okay, so a universal language sounds great, but how does it work under the hood? Let's get into the mechanics of it, which are actually surprisingly simple and elegant. The whole thing works in a simple three-step dance. First, an agent that needs help, let's call it the client, discovers another agent, the server, and basically asks, hey, what are you good at? Then they securely authenticate each other, to make sure everyone's legit. And finally, the client sends over a job or a task for the server to handle. Discover, authenticate, communicate. That's it.
Now, this diagram might look a little busy, but don't sweat all the details. The main takeaway is just seeing how the pieces fit. You've got the client on the left, server on the right. But the two concepts you really need to know, the absolute heart of the A2A protocol, are the agent card and the task. The agent card is basically an AI's resume or its LinkedIn profile. It's a standard file that says, here's who I am, here's what I'm great at, and here's exactly how you can connect with me securely. This is what makes that dynamic discovery possible. It lets an agent find the perfect partner for a job on the fly, even if they've never interacted before. So once they're connected, the client sends a task. That's the actual job. Now the key here is that a task is stateful. All that means is that the protocol acts like a project manager. It keeps track of the job's status, from submitted to working, and then finally to completed. This is absolutely vital for managing complicated workflows. And the final result, whether it's a report, an image, or a chunk of data, is called an artifact.
Now, if you've been following the AI agent space, you might be thinking, wait a minute, how does this relate to Anthropic's Model Context Protocol, or MCP? Are they competitors? Are we going to have a format war? Well, the answer is a very clear no. In fact, they're designed to be teammates.
Here's the key difference. They operate on different levels. A2A is all about how agents talk to each other. It's the language of teamwork, of delegation. MCP, on the other hand, is about how a single agent connects to its tools, things like a database, an external API, or a knowledge base it needs to get its own job done.
This table lays it all out pretty clearly, but that analogy at the bottom really hits the nail on the head. MCP gives an agent its personal toolbox. A2A is the walkie-talkie that lets that fully equipped agent coordinate with the rest of its team to build something big. They're two sides of the same coin.
Okay, we've gone through the what and the how, but let's talk about the most important part. Why does any of this actually matter? What's the real-world impact of a standard like A2A?
Well, for businesses, it's a huge deal.
First, it finally tames that multi-agent hairball with one standard way to connect. This immediately destroys vendor lock-in. You're free to pick and choose the best agents for any task, no matter who made them. And that freedom unlocks the ability to automate incredibly complex workflows, all with the security and governance that big companies need.
Let's make this real with an example. Imagine a hiring agent gets a request for a new software engineer. Using A2A, it acts as the team lead. It first tasks a specialized screening agent to go find candidates. That agent uses MCP to plug into a resume database. Once it finds some great people, it sends the list back to the hiring agent using A2A. The hiring agent then hands off the next step to an interview scheduling agent. The entire process is automated by a team of specialist agents all working together.
So when you put it all together, what does the future with A2A look like? It's all about one thing: building a truly open and collaborative ecosystem for AI. And this isn't just some Google pet project. A2A is launching with massive support across the industry. This quote from AWS says it all. Even major competitors see the value in a shared standard. And with partners like Salesforce, SAP, and Cisco also on board, it shows there's a real consensus that this is the path forward.
But this might be the most important move of all. Google has donated A2A to the Linux Foundation. This takes it out of Google's hands and puts it into a neutral, open home. It means the protocol will evolve based on what the whole community needs, not just what one company wants. This is absolutely essential for building trust and getting everyone to adopt it. So, let's just quickly recap. First, A2A is the universal language that solves the Tower of Babel problem for AI agents. Second, it provides a simple, standard process for them to find each other and work together securely. Third, remember, it's a teammate to protocols like MCP, not a rival. And finally, its real magic is in enabling secure, scalable, and truly automated teams of AI. We'd love to hear what you think about all this. Do you think A2A is the right solution? What kinds of problems are you excited to see solved by collaborating agents? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement really helps us figure out what to cover next.
With a common language finally falling into place, it really makes you wonder, what could armies of these collaborating agents solve next? From speeding up scientific discovery to completely automating how businesses run, the possibilities are just staggering. The era of the lone genius agent is ending. The future is collaborative. Thanks for watching.